tonight on News Center. A panel involved in Black History Month. President Jones answers student questions. And a discussion on race in higher education. News Center starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to CUTV News Center for the week of February 13th. I'm Matt Hagee.
And I'm Catherine Leverfinger. How do you feel about the N-word? Yeah, I do mean that word. Well, in Steele Hall, students, faculty, and staff had the option to voice their opinions on how they personally interpret the word and hear what others in the community have to say about the controversial topic. CUTV reporter Miriam Mason has the story.
We hear it from people in songs and in conversations. So why is the N-word such a huge topic of interest still with our society? A panel of our faculty and students spoke their opinions on the topic. Students in the audience were able to send emails at first, but shortly after, the discussion progressed into an open question-answer talk within the auditorium.
When topics, are taboo or you're uncomfortable talking about them, usually that leads to a lack of resolution about things, and so I feel by being open about very difficult issues, we can sort of get a better understanding of how people think, what is at the heart of an issues, because ultimately the N-word is just a word. So in this case, we want to know what lies behind it and what are the relevant issues as to why this word in particular is so divisive in society today.
The N-word is still a very controversial issue about whether it is appropriate or not. By speaking in the discussion, Dr. Gill hoped to open the doors for students who may be unsure of how to approach not just this topic, but any issue that they may be facing.
People are very open about talking about these kind of issues, and this was an issue that I felt people are almost afraid to talk about. Even for me, being in this country, I sort of feel more uncomfortable talking about this issue just being in the United States than I would feel talking about this in Canada. So that's why I guess I wanted to have a chance to talk about it.
Earlier today, the annual student convocation was held at the Natali Performance Center. Through poor weather conditions, President Geraldine Jones was able to address key university topics like an update on student population numbers, the budget, and also the construction of the student union. Students gathered today to watch President Geraldine Jones present important information and address issues regarding the university.
The main goal that I would like students to take from an event like this is to let them know that we truly care about our students here at the university. And as you will hear me say on numerous occasions, the core mission of our university is the academic education of our students, and I want this university to be able to provide that for our students.
Despite snowy conditions, President Jones was pleased with the large turnout from the student community.
I was very impressed with the line of questioning from our students, the seriousness of their questions, and those questions are questions that I'm pleased to have them ask, because it gives me an opportunity to share with them what we are doing here at the university. And with the conditions of the weather today, I was very pleased with the turnout of our students.
One of the biggest topics that President Jones presented was the update on the student union construction. The union gathered many questions from the crowd.
We are at 25% completed with the project, and so we're on time with an end date of July of 2015. And more importantly, there are no cost overruns, and even more importantly than that, we, through the focus groups with the students, this facility will be a state-of-the-art facility that will address the issues and concerns that students have had with the current facility. So we're very pleased with that.
Events like the student convocation is a great opportunity to ask questions to the university president that concerns the needs of the student population.
Last week, students met with professors to discuss the effect race had on higher education. CUTV reporter Adisa Haggart-Robertson has more on the story.
On Thursday, February 6th, psychology professor Brock spoke to students about the importance of Black success in higher education. The Black Student Success Program focused on different issues some African American students have in school and how they can be overcome. One of the biggest things he focused on was self-efficacy, a self-confidence concept, as how one sees themselves and how that thus impacts them.
Well, what I've seen at Cal U is that there's a mix, like anywhere else. There are students who are very confident in their beliefs about their education, and they're striving pretty high. But then there are also students who are at the other end of the spectrum. They don't really know where they're going, they don't know what they're doing, and they need direction. And so what I've found is that, you know, we as a Cal U community have to reach out to all students at whatever range in that spectrum that they are.
Professor Brock also touched on the importance of reaching out to students to get them involved in programs as these, as they are often underattended, and how programs can be better marketed.
I mean, it's incumbent upon us as educators. We have to find a way to meet them in the dorms, meet them at the Gold Rush, and talk to them about what they need and find ways to engage them, and that's what we have to do. If you have these panel discussions and you don't advertise it right and no one comes, then what did you really do? We've got to find ways to meet them where they are.
That Professor Brock also briefly told his personal story about difficult challenges in his life and how he was able to overcome them and was successful. He's accomplished in accomplishing such, and is now a doctoral candidate at WVU. Student Success is one of the many events hosted this month for Black History Month here at Cal. For CUTV News, I'm Adisa Haggart-Robinson.
In Granville, Ohio, 21-year-old Denison University student David Hallman III was found dead Saturday night outside a garage in town. Hallman fell asleep after leaving a bar and succumbed to hypothermia after being outside all night. Alcohol was presumed to be in Hallman's system at the time. Incidents like this bear warning to all colleges. Do not walk alone, especially while intoxicated. Bundle up as much as possible, and simply be smart when you go out.
For many people, when they hear the word Yuengling, they don't think of ice cream. As of Monday, Yuengling ice cream has joined the other popular names. During the start of Prohibition in the 1920s, Yuengling started to make ice cream. The company that produces the ice cream is not the same one that produces the lager. The ice cream is said to be made without artificial ingredients and has a higher percentage of butterfat and comes in 10 different flavors. The states that are currently selling the ice cream are Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, Delaware, and New Jersey.
And Kat, seeing stories like that about the cold weather, about that student dying, I knew it scared me. What do you think about that?
I think it's very frightening, especially I know I have friends who are over 21 who like to go out and have fun, and it worries me. I always want them to call me and make sure that they're okay. You really do need to be careful because alcohol tricks your body into believing it's warm, but your internal organs are actually getting colder.
And also with all this snow coming in there, I know back home in eastern Pennsylvania for me, they're getting about a foot of snow. I'm pretty much sick of the snow, to be honest.
I know. I just want to hope everyone stays safe.
Yep.
And when we return, Santina Mirren has your entertainment report. Stay tuned.